Hey everybody, welcome back. We're going to do something we haven't done in a long time. We're going to do a pickup video. Found some stuff along the thrift trail. Lots of exciting vintage stuff to show you here. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Helps out this channel quite a bit. We need it, so hit the subscribe button. Much appreciated. Let's get into some vintage fun, okay? But first, it is Father's Day, so let me show you what the kids got me for Father's Day. Nothing like a good old-fashioned popcorn maker, except this is Spidey version. So it's a little personal-sized popcorn maker. It does your popcorn the proper way, not by air. Add a little bit of oil, stirs it in the pan, kind of like a as close as you can get to kettle popcorn, but done like this. So that's cool. Thanks, kids, for that. And I'm going to start with the big thing, get it out of the way. This was found on the top shelf in the game section at the thrift store. This is from the early 70s. I know a lot of you guys have had some experience playing some classic rod hockey right there. Look at this thing. It's massive. It's metal housing. Of course, the surface is that kind of cardboardy wood thingy, but it's all complete. Construction is good. It has the score thing. It's got all the players, which is the original flat style of players. It's Vancouver versus the dreaded Maple Leafs. So this is in really good shape, and I already put the magic eraser to the surface. That's why it's so clean. Got it for 10 bucks. This thing could sell for up to $100. Also, while I was there, you know, the whole fun part of thrifting is to find the weird stuff, right? So this is kind of weird. Big leather gauntlets. What is this for? This is for your barbecue action. You know those guys that have those huge stand-up barbecues where they got to do the spit without burning their hands? They need these things. These are brand new. All leather, thick rawhide. This was $7.99. You could sell these probably for 30 bucks. Someone will definitely need those. Moving on. Found these in a baggie. These are always great to have if you're a PlayStation VR player. I already have two, of course, for my PSVR, but these are good to have as a backup because you're constantly swinging them around, you know. Normally I would sell these, but my one personal controller seems a little rattly, so I'm gonna have to keep these as a backup because the last thing you want to do is go spend retail on these things. I think these are 100 bucks, 120 retail. Don't want to spend that, so I might keep them. Switching back out to some more vintage retro stuff. Check that out. You got your Sony Walkman right there. Old school. This is pre-Sony Sports Walkman, I do believe. If I'm not familiar. If I'm not sure, I don't know. It's a little bit scratchy, but still a very desirable Walkman. This thing, even nowadays, if you find it new in a box, could fetch over $100. So, used, don't know. But, uh-oh. It's missing a screw right there. Just noticed that. So, 2 screws are missing. So the price just went down on that, but very little invested. And also a Panasonic personal CD player. People are still looking for these because they got CDs and they got nowhere to play them. They've yanked the CD players out of their systems. And they got no way to play their CDs. Oh, there's a disc in there. I don't think I'll like it very much. 80s music. Okay. Anyways, I still have yet to test that. Decent personal CD players can fetch a decent amount of money. 30 bucks maybe? 40? Depends. This is Panasonic, so it's a good build. We'll get into some games. I've been waiting forever to find this game on the cheap, and my youngest daughter actually just requested I find it for her. She wanted to play it. She's been watching some videos on it. So it just happened to find this behind the counter at a thrift store. Super Mario Maker. I mean, it's not dirt cheap. It was still 12 bucks. But it does have its box, even though it's a little beat up. But still better than paying 30 somewhere else. So added that to the collection. So the Twilight Princess on the Wii, select version. I already have this, so this can... Whew, the sun is bright today. Apologies for that. So that's going to be resold. Mario Party 8. I don't have this in the collection because I'm not a big Mario Party guy, but maybe it'll be worth it to keep for the kid. I don't know. I still had to pay $8 for it, but this thing, Mario Party games always retail very high. This one is no exception. I can't remember last time I looked it up what it goes for. 40 maybe, something like that. There is no manual, and the disc is in rough shape. I will have to get it resurfaced and pray that it comes out. So I don't know if I'll keep that or not. If you know me, probably not. And this, which I already have, Mario Galaxy, a select version, I already have that, but this is somewhat complete. I don't know if it ever... Yeah, there's the manual in there. And the disc is in good shape. That was $6.99. I think this is still worth around 20. I don't know. Let me know in the comments if you know better. And then, yeah, I didn't even have a car to buy all this stuff. My car was in the shop. I was going to have to carry all this crap around. And I made it worse on myself by finding a big, thick book that I had to have. But this has been on my list for a long time. Neil Young's book, Waging Heavy Peace. One of these days I'll get used to holding this to the camera properly. By Neil Young. I don't know if it's a first edition or not. I always open it up to see if it was signed by the author and ended up in the thrift store. That would be nice. It is not, but there's the masthead. It might be a first edition. It's got the number 1 on there, and yeah, this is Neil in his own words, so it's good stuff. It's a nice picture of Neil on the back. That was taken by Linda McCartney. And finally, to wrap things up, you guys know I collect a lot of audio stuff. We have a record show on this channel. Play a lot of vinyl, but and I've stayed away from the cassette stuff. I do not want to get back into cassettes because we were forced to use these all through high school, and they're terrible, right? They don't know what speed to play at. They do this. They fall apart. You had to flip them. They're just a terrible medium. I don't want to get back into collecting it, but I do still have some cassettes in the library like this. But as well, I have my original Grateful Dead bootlegs, like the original tapes you would trade with people. Those are all on cassette, so I still have those. But I wouldn't be against buying a cassette player either if it's quite nice, because they do still fetch a good price. But I also don't have a very good one in my system now. This is a really good one. Sony, made in Japan, dual cassette deck. It's got the audio meters, high-speed dubbing, and it's just rare to find these nowadays that still work because there's so much mechanical stuff inside that has to, you know, do a lot of work. Wheels, gears turning. So it's hard to find these things that still manage to do a good job at it. I tested it in the store and it seemed to work, so you know, for $10 I grabbed it, and I might keep it in my system because I played a tape in it, and man, it played amazing. It sounded so good. And for bonus, it came with a Jack Wagner cassette. You know that one. I admit it, you all know this Jack Wagner song, All I Need. Soap opera star, huge hit. That man had it all. Jack Wagner. So unfortunately, even though this could be worth around 80 to 100 bucks, I'm probably going to keep it in my system because it does such a great job at playing the cassettes that I might still have lying around. So that's it for this pickup video. It's glad to be back on the thrift trail, on the vintage hunt, finding new stuff. If you like this, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Please, please hit the subscribe button. We'll bring you more stuff, show you what's happening out there in the world, and the world of thrift and vinyl and vintage and all that fun stuff. Thanks again. We'll come at you with more. See you next time. Subscribe.